Hello, welcome to my living room. First of all, I just want to start with you. Yes, I'm talking to you. Are a very unique. You are a very unique, complex individual, and we all have our own needs, and we all have our own circumstances in life. We're all having our own experience, and we're all having our own very unique journey. Now, that being said, we are all the universe is experiencing itself through many different forms. So as to say, separation is the greatest illusion that there is. And for us perceiving reality the way that it is, we are perceiving it in a fractured state, and that is not the way that it is. This is an illusion. This is just the way that we call it. This is the way that we perceive it as a collective. So the vibrational being that we're in a third density consciousness. So we're only capable of perceiving at physical level third density reality unless we start to gravitate into a higher state of vibrational consciousness. So as we slowly start to raise our vibration, raise our frequency, increase our energy in life, we get more momentum towards what we're actually trying to do with ourselves. And to be doing this, we need to be taking good care of ourselves, having faith in ourselves, knowing ourselves, having faith in the universe to deliver us our divine experience. And honestly, you really have to make sure that you let go of what doesn't serve you, because in life, all of us get to a point where we acquire a great deal of heavy burdens in life that are not serving us anymore. Like, it's an experience that happened for us. And that's something else we need to remember, is life doesn't ever happen to us. Life happens for us. So what we are here experiencing is an unraveling of our own mind and our own body and our own mind complex, social complex, body complex, soul complex. These are all just concepts and complexes. And the thing of what we're experiencing is everybody is not experiencing the same exact experience. Like, for an example, right here on this blanket behind me, you might call this color yellow. We all call this color yellow, unless you maybe see it as orange or whatever, But let's say we all call this color yellow, right? Because everybody has always called colors the same colors, because we're all looking in the same perceptible reality. So if we're pointing to the same thing, we're gonna say, hey, this is the color of it. If you point at this is blue. We all call this blue. So for us to all call this blue, I could be seeing orange and you could be seeing green, but we both would call it blue because that's always what we were told blue looked like. So we wouldn't be seeing it as something other than blue. And this is a state of collective reality that we're perceiving, but we're also perceiving our own individual realities. So if we go within ourselves, we can find out what we truly are, who we truly are, and what we're really doing here. The thing is, everyone has this within them. Like, nobody is special unless everyone is special. And we're all special. We all have our own very unique individuality. We all have something to bring to the table. Like, we're all here for a reason. Whether or not anyone wants to accept that or not is up to them. That is their choice entirely. But we're all here experiencing things. We are part of an experience. This is not something that we're exactly this isn't something that exactly serves us to try to deny, because everyone is experiencing these types of things. And the more that the world changes, the more that everyone is becoming realized of themselves and becoming more aware of everything that's going on around them. And thanks to this beautiful thing that we call the internet, we are capable of communicating with each other in ways that our past generations were not capable of communicating with each other with. So we're able to share so much information all together, and we're able to compartmentalize it, and we're able to work through all of these things. So at this point, where we're at as a collective, what we're capable of is accessing all of time and all of reality that is in front of us. Like, everyone is capable of these things. Nobody who does these things is going to be overly worthy of something, because we are all the same being. It's just different states of vibration. So different frequencies, or you're going to be tuning into different frequencies. If you are going to experience that which you match the vibrational frequency of, so your core frequency in life will carry you to your divine experience, and you will not suffer. You will not be getting anything in life that does not serve you. Anything that you get in life will be to serve you. Everything here will be serving. This does not mean that you will not experience anything inherently negative ever, because our concepts of what good and bad are not necessarily what good and bad are. Because somebody might say that the saying of what is chaos for the fly is life for the spider, and that goes as to say that everything in life is very particular for each individual, and everyone has their own experience. So this is why everyone has to go within themselves and really figure out what they're doing here and who they are, because nobody can tell you what you're doing with your life except for you. And if you really go within yourself, you can find out that there's so much in you that is trying to serve you, that it's here to serve you. You're here serving yourself and serving everyone through yourself. We are all here to do this. If you're watching this video and this is speaking to you, then this is what you're here to do. You're here to be a part of this. You know, do some research on things like such as the Great Awakening. Look into the book, The Law of One by Ra, and look into the Harvest. If you start to really look into ancient cultures and other religious texts, you'll start to realize a lot of them have a lot of relative aspects to them, because they're all starting to scratch topics of immersion into the self, and deeper into unity with the entire universe, because we are all truly one with the Creator, and we can all have our own individual relationship with that essence. So nobody is here to tell anybody else what exactly their relationship with the divine is. We all have our own very unique relationship. So this is where I would say that you should do your own research and use every piece of information that you get just as a piece of the puzzle, and don't take anything too seriously or too literally, but really get a lot of information, because the more educated you are on what is all actually going on around you, the more you'll start to be able to see the patterns and things, and the more that you'll start to be able to recognize what's really here to serve you and what's really a distraction. And because there are a lot of distractions in life, this is not that every single thing that is capable of being experienced is here to serve you, but when you are starting to really live in true correspondence with yourself, you will be in line to everything be serving you. Because when you're doing self-sabotage, or you're doing things that see, reality is a reflection. And when we're experiencing something, it's because we're choosing to experience it, whether or not we want to admit that we're choosing to experience it. That is what this is. So reality is a reflection of our mind and our body and our thoughts, and what we think and what we say and our actions create our reality in front of us. So we are literally the creators of our own reality. And what we bring to ourselves we're not always aware of, but our subconscious is aware of much more than what we are typically aware of, because we're not always in tune with ourselves. A lot of times we're distracted. We'll be, and we're all guilty of this. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm definitely guilty of these things myself. But, we're all guilty of sitting and just watching TV literally all day and not accomplishing anything. And, eventually not even really wanting to be watching TV anymore. You're kind of bored, but you still just watch TV anyway. And, you just keep sitting there, and you'll maybe just get up to eat or to go to the bathroom, or you'll just pretty much being a lazy couch potato, But it's something that we all do at some point, So these kind of habits are things that we need to break away from, because these are things that do not serve us. So we have to let go of these things. Because don't get me wrong, we can all do these things at some point. It's not like this is not to go as to say that we can't ever watch TV, or we can't ever just sit and lay around all day. That's totally fine. Like, we can totally do that. And if you're gonna do that, definitely be honest with yourself that that's what you're doing. Like, if you want to just sit around and watch TV all day, or if you want to just lay in bed all day, be honest with yourself if you're gonna do that. Otherwise, you're just gonna be beating yourself up over it, and it does you absolutely no good to beat yourself up over something that you're literally already doing, or you already did, because it already happened, or it's already happening. So if it's already happening and you don't like it, and you want to beat yourself up over it, don't beat yourself over it. Literally change it. Like, you can do something about these things in your life, And I understand feeling stuck. People all get there at some point. We all feel stuck, but you're not really stuck. It's just an illusion. You're allowing yourself to make yourself feel stuck. Everybody has free will. Everybody is capable of changing their life. Everybody is capable of raising their vibration, tuning into a higher frequency, and living a more divine experience. And I'm not here to tell anyone what to believe and how to think. I'm here to serve anyone else who is looking for this information, anyone else who is trying to explore and discover these types of things. And this has slowly become what my life is over the past 3 years. When I was 19, I started to explore my consciousness, and I had quite an adventure. And throughout those experiences, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the universe, and I learned a lot about life in general. But the most important thing that I learned is that we are here right now in this moment for a reason, and that reason is what we make of it entirely. But what we are is already been making something of this, and there's concepts behind this that do not serve us, that have been created by other people who have conditioned us to be a certain way, who have been telling us this is what you are. They put you in a little box, They tell you this is what you are, this is who you are, this is how to be, this is what you're supposed to wear, this is what you're supposed to do, this is how you're supposed to talk, this is what you are, and those things aren't necessarily true, but that's okay. You guys don't gotta see my face. The sun's more beautiful anyway. Oh, yeah, there we go. But this is literally what we are. So it's not a. Sorry. They're telling us what we are with this. So with somebody putting you in a box and putting labels on you, and I mean, we come here and we literally get a label stamped on us that we get told is our name, and we get told what kind of person we are by so many people throughout our lives, and then the people who aren't telling us what kind of person we already are telling us what kind of person we're supposed to try to be. And so we're constantly getting conditioned by all of these different circumstances and variables, and outside forces are just always pushing at us and pushing at us and pushing at us. And for a long time we're kind of in a state of autopilot, where we're just kind of getting pushed from point A to point B to point C to point D to so on and so forth, and we don't really know what to do, so we just kind of keep going with it. And And throughout those experiences, we kind of like latch onto things and hold on to things and just like kind of carry them with us. And when we start to move forward into an aspect of life where we're actually the ones making those decisions and we're just kind of propelled by those prior forces, and now we're the ones that are kind of doing it, but subconsciously because we're not necessarily aware of it. Now it is our job to become more aware of ourselves and become more aware of our thoughts, actions, and words, because what we're saying has so much power behind it. Like what we're here to say has so much power behind it. Like who we are is are powerful beings. Like we are such a powerful force. Not just me, not just you. Everyone is. We all are. And that's why so many people are conditioned to not be standing in their power. Like so many people are confused and so many people are not themselves because they're just recognizing themselves in this little box of what they think that they are. And they're not this box. They're so much more than that. And you're not even properly contained in the box. You're just like pretending like, oh yeah, like, I'm in this box right here, like this is what I am, like blah blah blah, whatever. And you're totally not that person. But once you start to be able to build a proper relationship with the box and allow to learn from it and realize why you've put yourself in a box and what exactly has caused you to feel like you deserve to be in a box and what kind of things have necessarily gotten you to the point in life that you are at. And so once you start to really unravel these certain things, and this is really, again, with going within yourself and just learning what you really believe in, what you really think about, what you really talk about, what your actions are doing in your experience, like what you're bringing to yourself, because we are law of attraction and law of correspondence. What we are is what we are going to experience. So if we're going to be walking around and being really rude to everybody and just judgmental about everybody, we're going to be experiencing other people being perceptively rude to us or judgmental to us, even though that might not necessarily be the way that they're even portraying it. That might just be because of the concepts that you're already attaching to things before they even put anything out there. So you're already putting other people in boxes naturally because you're putting yourself in boxes. So you're putting, and again, I'm not saying we put ourselves in boxes. That's a better way I should say it. So when we're putting ourselves in boxes, we're allowing ourselves to think that we're limited, and then we naturally put other people in boxes because we are the same as other people. So we are reflections of our other selves out here. So if we're putting other people in boxes and ourselves in boxes, it's the same thing. So for an example, everything that has polarity here is not exactly the way that we perceive it. Like it has perfect polarity like that because they seem to be two different forces, but this is where the yin-yang comes into play, where if you think about the positive and negative forces in life, they complement each other. It's like being and non-being produce each other. That's a quote by Lao Tzu. And long and short define each other. Easy and difficult complement each other. Like these things are two forces that are dancing. So like it's like the masculine and feminine energies, like for people to be, when somebody is naturally rejectant of like feminine aspects of people, that's because they're repressing those aspects within themselves. And when somebody is naturally suppressant of masculine aspects, that's because they're suppressant of their own. Hey. Here's you wanna say hi, baby? This is my little baby collie. Collie. She's beautiful. Go back over there. Well, I know that I didn't exactly wrap up exactly what I was saying, but as you, as the any viewers that are watching this right now, as I post more content and anyone gets to know me better, you'll start to realize that this is a never-ending conversation that we're having here, and we'll slowly get to a lot of points. And if anybody has anything at all that they want to talk to me about, at all, like, I'm here to serve. Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm simply trying to let go of the ego system and move into the ecosystem. I want to give a huge shout out to Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters, for literally calling me out in one of your videos, and calling all of us out, really, not just me, but calling anyone out who is true to this. Like, if you're really true to this, if this stuff makes sense to you, everyone who's doing this wants everyone who's interested or driven by these things to come join us. Like, we're all here for this purpose. Like, this is not something where we're here trying to judge anybody. This is not something where we're here trying to be something that we're not. This is something where we're all trying to be the best version of ourselves that we possibly can and move forward with life. And this is really where so many people are headed. I'm seeing the more involved that I've been getting into this within the past few years, and the more comfortable that I've finally gotten to really truly be myself with all of these things, because there is a finite amount of time in this experience. We are infinite multidimensional beings having a temporary human experience, and this finite amount of time, this brief experience that we're having right now, if we're not being who we truly are in this experience, then what are we really doing? Who are we really doing it for? You know? So if I could just leave you with a couple questions, I would say ask yourself today, what serves you? What does not serve you that should be let go of? What serves you that should be given extra appreciation and love light to? What should be let go of and moved forward with, worked through if necessary? And what really makes you happy? Because whatever really makes you happy in life, that's your passion. And your passion, your dharma, your ikigai, it is your sacrifice. You're here to be this thing. You're here to be yourself. You're here, if you like to draw. If you like to write. If you like to read and want to write a book. Keep on reading. You'll get there. Whatever you want to do with your life, you'll get there. If you like to be in sports, if you're an athlete, like, be driven by that. Like, really be driven by that. You can succeed. It's not that there's just certain special people who become professionals. It's not that there's certain special people who become artists and musicians. Like, these people, everyone is special and everyone is capable of these things. We are all multidimensional beings deep down. We are all the universe experiencing itself. Nobody is limited by anything other than their own forces. What is happening here is a simple state of confusion. And if we can learn from our experience and help teach others through our experience, what we learn through their experiences, then we will be able to truly progress forward with ourselves, because there's so much more to life. And with that, I want to give a little shout out to the homie Mac Miller. Rest in peace, for real. And I'll leave you guys on that note. And by the way, I just want to say I love you all. Peace.